Township, October 10th, 2023 council meeting. Please rise. Please stand for a pledge of allegiance and for a moment of silence and our prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's customary in this chamber that we stand for a moment of silence to remember those who are protecting our freedoms, both here and abroad, for our first responders, for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. And this evening, I'd like to recognize first Dr. Anita Greenberg Belli.
Yes. Please, a moment of silence for the tragic loss of life by the barbaric, cowardly attack on Israel by Hamas in Iran. Women, children, babies, and elderly were slaughtered for no other reason than being Jewish. God have mercy and pray for peace.
And I'd also like to recognize our mayor this evening.
Thank you, Council President, members in our audience tonight. It's with a heavy heart and a lump in my throat that I ask you to remain standing for police officer Peter Benedict, who was laid to rest this past Saturday. Officer Benedict proudly served his community, the town in which he lived in. Prior to serving his community, he served his country as a distinguished member of the United States Marine Corps. I ask tonight that you please keep his family, his friends, and his fellow officers who delivered a fitting send-off for Officer Benedict this past Saturday, and other first responders who also assisted in that send-off. I ask that you please keep them all in your thoughts and prayers. So tonight, I ask for a moment of silence for Old Bridge Police Officer Peter Benedict, badge number 245. A moment of silence, please.
Mr. Pescetti, a prayer.
Dear Lord, bless thy servants in the ministry of public affairs who serve thee in this chamber. Give us quiet minds and hearts that we may hear your voice. Help us to know when to speak, when to be silent. Give us strength to oppose the wrong and uphold the right. Grant that we have good conscience, at soul, at peace with thee and with one another. Amen.
Please be seated.
This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice has been given to the official newspapers of the Township on January 6, 2023, and has been posted in public places. Next open public meeting of the Township Council will be held on Monday, November 13th at 7:30 p.m. Take notice that all meetings will be held in the Old Bridge Municipal Complex at 1 Old Bridge Plaza at 7:30 p.m. and are open to the public. Roll call. Councilperson DeCaro. Here. Councilperson DePalma.
Here.
Councilperson Desai.
Here.
Councilperson Garcia.
Here.
Councilperson Dr. Greenberg Belli. Here. Councilperson Murphy.
Here.
Councilperson Pasquitti.
Here.
Council Vice President Walker.
Here.
And Council President Sohar.
Here. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our meeting. We will start with Certificate of Valor presentation by Mayor Henry.
Again, good evening, everyone. Tonight, we're going to recognize two of our first responders who went above and beyond the call of duty here in Old Bridge on June 25th, 2023 at 6:41 a.m. These two members are members of the Cheesequake Volunteer Fire Company. I would please ask at this time to have Assistant Chief Vincent Lavallo and Firefighter OEM Coordinator Michael Petschauer please join me. As I said, on June 25th, at 6:41 a.m., Cheesequake Volunteer Fire Company was dispatched for a possible structure fire at 40 Cottonwood Lane in the Glenwood Apartments. After checking with police dispatch that he was responding to the scene, firefighter, OEM coordinator Michael Petschauer was advised that in fact it was confirmed fire with reports of people trapped in the apartment. Once on the scene, Petschauer established fire command and was advised by police officers on scene that one child was still in the apartment in a bedroom. Petschauer attempted to enter the apartment to locate the child, but once inside was met with heavy smoke and fire and had to exit the apartment. After exiting the apartment, he retrieved a fire extinguisher and made a second attempt to enter the apartment, this time getting to the fire, and used the extinguisher to knock the fire down, but could still not get to the child due to the heavy smoke. He was forced to once again exit the apartment. At this time, Assistant Chief Lavallo arrived on scene and was told by Petschauer the child was still inside and he needed to put on an air pack and make a rescue attempt. Once inside the apartment, Assistant Chief Lavallo did a search and located a 3-year-old child unconscious under the bed and carried him immediately outside. Once outside, Lavallo immediately checked for signs of life and found the child was unconscious but with a weak pulse and shallow breathing. Lavallo then repositioned the child's head, which allowed the child to begin breathing air. Oxygen was just placed on the child with the help of Old Bridge police officer, and the child was turned over to EMS and transported to the hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so happy to say that that child was released from the hospital several days later and has made a full recovery because of these two gentlemen. So Assistant Chief Vincent Lavallo, in recognition of their exceptional courage in the face of adversity on January 25th, 2023, your selfless courage and unwavering commitment to the Old Bridge have set a high standard of excellence, and we're honored to recognize your achievement. You are commended for your heroic action and bravery. This certificate is presented to you on behalf of the Township of Old Bridge and myself, Mayor Owen Henry. I'm so proud to hand this over to you, Vincent. Mr. Petschauer, I don't know what this town would do without you. Michael lives, eats, sleeps, and breathes Old Bridge Township 24/7. And he's my OEM coordinator, and he just happened to be there. He was cleaning up, and he was the first one on scene. So those people are so lucky that he was there. So lucky, Michael. And so thank you, Mike, Vincent, and all our first responders. Cheesequake Volunteer Squad who's here tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for all you did. Michael? There you go, proud Papa.
Thank you so much. We're so Old Bridge proud. What a wonderful night. Next will be an appointment resolution appointing Chief Financial Officer. Okay, do I have a motion? Okay, moved by Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mr. Pasquini.
This resolution appoints Dawn Swoboda as the Chief Financial Officer. Roll call, Councilperson DeCaro.
Yes.
Councilperson De Palma.
Yes.
Councilperson Desai.
Yes.
Councilperson Garcia.
Yes.
Councilperson Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
Councilperson Murphy.
Yes.
Councilperson Pasquini.
Yes.
Council Vice President Walker.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes. Okay, congratulations, Dawn, and thank you for everything you do. You do a really great job. Thank you. Next will be public hearings, H1, release of performance guarantee, 99 Bridge, formerly Renaissance Apartments, Block 1600, Lot 199, Old Bridge Road, Benster Old Bridge LLC, 10-17P. Good evening, Mrs. Shapiro.
Good evening, Council President, Council. Before we start, I don't see anybody here from the applicant
I
side.
was going to ask you, yeah.
So George Allen is our inspector from Remington and Vernick. This is an application that was in front of our planning board under application 10-17P. It's called Renaissance Apartment, also known as 99 Bridge, and actually renamed as 99 Bridge, located on Old Amboy Road. This is a bond release that's on for tonight. They have completed the work. It has been inspected by George Allen from Remington and Vernick under the direction of Terrence Volt, who's a professional engineer licensed in the state of New Jersey, and also under my direction as a licensed professional engineer. Seeing that the applicant's engineer is not here tonight, I assume that we're going to table this for tonight, and then hopefully we can move it to the November 13th meeting. And then is that with or without further notice?
I mean, that is, first I would just ask if there's anybody here for the,
Right, in the public.
did they notice it for this hearing?
Yes.
Right, is there anybody here for the release of performance bond for Renaissance Apartments? Being none, and the fact that it was noticed, I think you can continue without notice.
Without, okay, all right, thank you.
So it'll be continued to the November 13th meeting.
November 13th, okay.
Thank you, Council.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. It's appreciated. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, November 13th. H2, Red Zebra Liquor License, stipulation, compliance, discussion. Good evening.
Members of council, if you may recall, back in June, we adopted, the council, there's a copy of your provided council, adopted a resolution regarding the application for renewal of the consumption license for Red Zebra for the year commencing July 2023 to June 30th, 2024. There was a series of conditions that were imposed on the renewal of that license, which included having a representative of the licensee to appear before council to review the conditions that were imposed to see to ensure that they were complying with the conditions set forth. If you may recall, there was objections to the renewal by residents in the area, and so this is the first time for them to appear. Representative of the licensee to appear is at the October 2023 meeting. And I think that all of the council were also provided with a series of incident reports involving the red zebra that were provided by our police department well, are self-explanatory. Some of them include reports of loud noises at the facility, loud music, an area check, and then there was one involving a patron who wouldn't pay his bill and apparently had to be convinced of the facility's bouncer to ensure that he does pay his bill. So at this time, I know there's Acting Chief Fritz is in the audience as well. So I guess at this point, we have a representative of the licensee here for the record. You have to speak up.
Yeah, please, and just put the mic on, please. Thank you.
No, okay.
Hello, Lawrence Rosenberg, managing the Red Zebra. Sue Leader, the owner of the Red Zebra, is here as well.
So you recall you were here at the last meeting where obviously we spent
Yes, I
a
was.
significant amount of time. One of the things that was raised in condition dealt with noise at the facility and there not being any loitering in the rear of the parking lot. Based upon reports that we have from our police department. And Chief Fritz, I don't know if there's someone here from your department who wants to talk about those reports. Might be helpful rather
Yeah,
than.
that would be, yeah. That's what he said. Yeah. You need to have a little guidance here.
Hello. How you doing?
Good evening. All right, I know Detective Caffey, she did quite an extensive report on the Red Zebra in preparation for the June meeting. Since the June meeting, there's been 6 instances that the police were called to the Red Zebra. I believe council has those. Of those, there was just a couple more noise complaints. I think 2 or 3 of them may have been sustained where the officers in fact heard the noise, and we have 1 assault. In total for 2023, there's been 34 cases where the police department was called. Half of those were for noise complaints, and almost all of those were in fact sustained where the officers heard the noise themselves, asked the club to turn down the music or close the doors, which they complied. And then a couple other 3 ordinance violations for operating after hours, but that was earlier in the year. That was back in January. Nothing since then in reference to that, and just a couple assaults, which tend to happen around drinking establishments. So that's all we have. I'll take questions if need be.
Anyone?
I just had
have a question. Mrs. Walker, I believe you said yes.
You said this is usual for drinking establishments. How much?
It happens at drinking establishments. You know, people have a little too much to drink, a little bravado, whatever. Assaults happen, or at least the accusation of an assault happens. Not uncommon.
So you find the noise isn't as bad? I mean, last time the audience was packed, all neighbors with the noise complaints.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Last time the audience was packed with all neighbors about the noise.
Yeah.
And you feel that that's been reduced?
If you were to do the math on the repeat offenses of noise complaints, I'd say they've done a pretty good job of handling it. There's still noise complaints that do come in that were sustained, but quickly remedied by the establishment and the management that's there.
Anyone? Mr. Carroll?
Yeah, I just want to just discuss and ask, so you're aware of these and you're applying, every time something like this happens, you're applying, you're learning from it, trying to apply, some mitigating circumstances to help prevent this in the future. Is that, I'm hoping that that's,
Absolutely. We moved the entrance to the front to try to avoid it. One of the neighbors, when I was here last time, I got to speak to, I gave him my cell number. It's been a couple of times where he's actually texted me in the middle of the night and said, can you keep the music down? Two of those incidents, we weren't even opened. 34 has a lot of traffic. People come with their radios blasting, they're coming from other places, whether it's a supermarket and I can't control that, it's a straight driveway from the road to their apartment window, but we've been trying to comply.
Are these incidents happening as people are leaving, or are they going out, hanging out, and coming back in?
No, all the smoking is now out front, so they're not in the back. Unfortunately, the back area is gravel. Before I got there, when we built the place, originally it was all paved, and because Sewell wasn't aware of it, and they did contracting and didn't realize that that was going to be a problem, so the town has not let us pave it. So if somebody's walking out or they're going with their car and you're going on loose gravel, it is going to make some noise, unfortunately. The only thing that's paved is the handicapped area.
So you're currently not allowed to pave that area?
No, we'd love to pave it, but town will not allow us.
Is that-
Councilwoman Zakara, that they are permitted to pave. They would have to do some extensive stormwater management mitigation on the property to comply with NJDEP rules. So they are permitted to pave. They choose not to. So there's a different story there.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, but, I dealt with Dave Hall at the time, and yes, we can pave if we put the drains in. The problem is, it's not putting the drains in. The problem is in order to get the drains to go to the street, we'd have to deal with DOT, and that's almost impossible. That's the problem. It's not that they won't let us, or we won't, do it or spend the money. You can't deal with DOT. They won't let you go. Once I get out of the driveway, I'm dealing with DOT.
So the applicant can connect to DOT's storm sewer system. He would have to provide a downstream analysis to make sure that the additional runoff from his property that goes into the stormwater system is sized adequately on DOT's line. So he can certainly connect to DOT. That is a civil engineer to get those plans together. That's an application in front of DOT for them to review the drainage calculations and to ensure that their pipe has capacity. And if it doesn't have capacity, then they would have to upsize the downstream pipe until the discharge location. It is, again, something that they can do, but they choose not to do.
Okay. And this is probably not your area. This might be the owner of the building. That is, maybe he can speak to this.
He's the owner. This is Sal. Sewell leader.
Good evening, everybody. When we built this, it took us a long time. And in order for us to build that drainage, we have to get permit something in Route 34 from was a a lot of paperwork, a lot more time. And they told us, in order to do those drains was a lot of work and a lot of money too. We had to stop at like 34. I don't remember exactly, it's been a long time, but it was some kind of a big project. And you can't, it was a lot of money. We had to stop 34 for some reason. We do some kind of drainage on 34. I have no idea exactly. We tried to pave it because it was paved before. And we came to the town to pave it the same way as it was because it was paved, but they said, no, we got to do all of those stuff. And those stuff cost a lot of money. A lot of money. Even if we do the drainage and the property, connecting it to the main sewer was a lot of money. So that's why we didn't do it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question?
Okay, anyone else on my left have a question? Okay. Anyone on my right?
No, I was just looking at some of the complaints, and surprisingly, the one with the person that didn't pay the bill, where there was, it's early in the evening, so, like, it's ridiculous. It was like, it wasn't like much time could have been that he was there, and this happened, so I don't know what he was,
They come from
what he was
other
doing before he
places that
got
are
there.
drinking from the afternoon. There's other bars that are open. It wasn't that they just happened to be by us, and
Characters with bad behavior, unfortunately, but I'm glad you're working on it, that there has been improvement, and I would hope if there's the neighbors that have anything to say, that they would offer to say something or any complaints about it, because that's how we would know. But based on the police reports, just as Chief said, that it is improved from last time.
we're trying.
Okay,
Just,
there-
I'm sorry, Council President.
Yeah.
Just one last question. Just, the summary of these reports is more, it's not necessarily because of the gravel, it's more of the actual noise from the patrons? Is that, it's more of the noise from the patron, it's not the gravel?
Yeah, none of the complaints had to deal with somebody walking on gravel. It was usually loud music, or people being loud, or the cars themselves being loud, whether they're pulling in or pulling
Well,
out.
that's what I meant, the cars,
Yeah.
not the people walking. Yeah. All right, but it's, okay, okay.
Okay. Is there anyone in the public who wishes to come forward and be heard?
Madam President, before you, if I could ask a few questions, you can still stay
Yeah,
here. Mr. Armour.
please, yeah.
So in reviewing the reports, all right, obviously the big issue had to do with noise. So I'm surprised I have 4 noise complaints, and some of them are just easily rectifiable. I mean, you have patrons congregating in a parking lot. I don't know if you have any signage that says no congregating in a parking lot. I get it, but if somebody's going to go out to smoke, I don't know that they need to make a lot of noise. I was a little disappointed at
Well,
that.
they're smoking out front.
I understand
And when
that.
they leave, they're going to get to going to their car, they have to go in the
No,
back.
they weren't leaving because the officer responded, and when the officer responded, the patrons were still there. And then they had asked them to move on. So it's not like they're leaving to go to their cars, they're in the
I will
parking.
put up a sign, no noise.
So, and then the other thing is that, and again, with the noise, front door was open, it was one of the music. Again, we had talked, I don't know, we went over that again and again. Keep your front door closed, keep your doors closed. I mean, that's just an easy solution. Same thing, and one thing I didn't like is that one of your employees, when the police officer responded, refused to give his identification. If a officer from Old Bridge has to respond, I don't want to
I'm
see.
not aware of, but you're correct. They should,
Correct. They need to know, and our officers should not have an employee saying, not tell who they are if they're working there. Because again, you know the conditions. The town can suspend your license until the conditions are met. So, so from the time this was adopted in the end of June, you basically had, I think there were 4, from June till the September, you had, the 4 noise and complaints. So I think you really need to do a better job. I think some of those things you can address, but you also need to train your employees, especially your bouncers, to ensure that, hey, they know people are going outside, they know they're standing outside, even if they go out, stick their head out and tell them, hey, you got to come back inside and keep it low, right? Okay. Because, again, so you had some, you didn't meet all the requirements, but I don't think the council wants to be in a position where they have to suspend your license, but if need be, they will. All right, so I just want to make sure, and you should not have, again, employees refusing to identify themselves when
sure.
responding to a call.
That I agree with 100%.
Mrs. Walker?
I'd like to ask Mark a question. So you were mentioning about suspending the license. We had given them like a 3-month trial. So moving forward, if things get out of hand again like they were,
Well, so again, what we did was, they have to come back in October, this is the first
Right.
time, then they have to come back in December again, and then they're required to come back in March and June. So we did it throughout the year.
okay, perfect.
So, but included within that is that, based upon the number of reports, police department feels that they're not in compliance with it, they can make the recommendation, and it states that the they'll immediately close their operations until they rectify the situation.
Okay, I just wanted to make
that.
sure that was correct.
So,
Okay.
right. So, we'll continue, they'll be continuing to monitor it, but so that you're aware, that can happen. If in fact, back in December, if we have another, and December's going to be a little more iffy,
I
right?
thought
You
it
have
was 3
Thanksgiving.
months. When to be January? Is it October, November, December, January?
Because we started just to try to get it through the year, the timing was, so it's going to be December.
You just like seeing me.
I don't know about that. You may not like seeing me. A lot of
No,
people don't
you're
like
okay.
seeing me.
You're okay.
So anyway, these next couple months, as you get through, Christmas and Thanksgiving, it's a little trickier, right? So let's make sure you keep your people in line. I'm fine. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so at this point, what is the protocol here with this, Mark?
Well, I don't know. I mean, at this point, I think they appeared, they did what they're supposed to do. I think there's enough, not enough here, obviously, to say, hey, you're not going to operate. We'll continue to have them come back. One thing is about the camera was, because that was other condition, if you felt there was a need, the department, has there been any discussion for a need for a community camera outside of their facility?
Do we still feel the need?
Yeah, because it was dependent upon the police department as far as the condition.
Yeah, let's keep it there and see how the next 3 months go.
All right, because then if there's a need, that we have the ability, or you have the ability, to require them to install a community camera outside the building. So I just want to remember that as well.
Okay, so you're in agreement, then the camera will remain and.
Well, I don't think it's there yet.
No,
No, we have the ability to install it if the police department feels it's necessary.
Right, so let's leave that on the table.
Right. Yeah, that's a condition, that'll remain. But again, clearly, the noise and the loitering and keeping the doors closed, they're pretty express, so, those are easy things. Those were softballs, right? You don't want to start getting the fastballs, then they'll go down, and then you won't be operating, right?
Yep, no problem.
All right, we're good.
Good?
All
Yes.
right, I'll need a motion to extend it. Is that the?
No, you're good. You don't think you have to do anything. That's part of the requirement. I think
Yeah, no,
let's have come back in December.
okay, so we don't need to make
You don't
any
take any
kind of.
formal action, no.
Okay, all right, then, thank you very much. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, bill list, Mrs. Walker.
Accounts payable, October 10th, 2023, $15,137,829.74. Payroll, September 15th, 2023, $1,113,394.44. Payroll overtime, September 15th, 2023, $32,833.85. Payroll, September 29th, 2023, $1,232,231.81. Payroll overtime, September 29th, 2023, $29,984.74. And that concludes the bill list.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Shapiro, can we have a breakdown of the overtime, please?
Thank you, Council President. As Councilwoman Walker indicated, overtime for pay period September 15, 2023 was $32,833.85, of which sworn police officers in the amount of $18,397.66, deduct grants in the amount of $2,877.89, deduct ETO in the amount of $709.50, for a total of $14,810.27, representing 152 and a half men and women hours. As Councilwoman Walker indicated, also for pay period of September 29th, 2023, the total overtime was $29,984.74, of which sworn police officers' overtime was $34,313.59, deduct grants in the amount of $4,203.16, deduct ETO in the amount of $18,038.87, and that represents a total of $12,071.56, for a total hours of 157.5 hours, representing that in the amount of men and women hours. Just so we're aware, there were 2 officers on light duty in the pay period for September 15th and 1 for the pay period of September 29th. And the only uptick was for the pay period of September 29th. There was a slight uptick because the arena was getting set up that pay period. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Do I have a motion?
What's this for?
Bill list, John?
Both yours.
Yes.
Debbie's too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and she gave us the breakdown of the overtime, Nicole. Okay,
Second.
all right. So it was Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mr. Pesky.
Roll call. Councilperson DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilperson DePalma?
Yes.
Councilperson Desai?
Yes.
Councilperson Garcia?
Yes.
Councilperson Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Councilperson Murphy?
Yes.
Councilperson Paskiddy?
Yes.
Council Vice President Walker?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
9 yeses.
Ordinances for first reading, FR1. Ordinance of the Township of Old Bridge rescinding 5-187.3 of Chapter 5, Article 20, oh goodness, all right, what's the article number? What A? The A threw me off. 26A, is that right? 29A? I do know my Roman numerals, but they threw in an A. The A kind of tossed me off. I just want to make sure it's correct for the record, but
I'll move it.
we have to just make sure the number is correct. The A is it dash A?
Madam President, just I give an explanation, just so you know, this came about because way back in 1987, Township created the Housing Authority. And as part of the Housing Authority and under
Redevelopment, yeah.
state law, you can designate housing authorities
Yes.
as redevelopment agencies. Subsequent to that, in 2004, the Township created the Old Bridge Redevelopment Agency. And then speaking with Councilman Pescitti, there's obviously a redundancy there. And so there's no need, and to ensure there's no inconsistency and we have one redevelopment agency, the better practice was to rescind the part of the Housing Authority statute that gave the Housing Authority, naming them as a redevelopment agency, when in fact we have it's a separate agency that was created in 2004. So what this ordinance does, it just rescinds that section of Chapter 5, Section 5187.3, which gave the authority the ability to act as a redevelopment agency.
Okay, so for the record, then this is okay.
There's an A.
That's the way it is in the code. I don't
So
know
we'll
why.
just leave it at 2029A.
Yes, that's the way it is in the
Right,
code.
That's all right with me, as long as it's correct.
Right.
Okay, of the Code of the Township of Old Bridge, entitled Authority to Act as a Redevelopment Agency. Mr. Pescetti made a motion.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Murphy? Roll call. Councilperson DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilperson DePalma?
Yes.
Councilperson Desai? Councilperson Garcia?
Yes.
Councilperson Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Councilperson Murphy?
Yes.
Councilperson Paskiddy?
Yes.
Council Vice President Walker?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
9 yeses, public hearing and adoption scheduled for the November 13th council meeting.
Okay, and I'll know how to say it that time, it'll be easy. Okay, next will be our consent agenda. I will ask for a motion in a second, and then I'll go for separations.
Move it.
Second.
Okay, moved by Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mr. DePalma. And now separations, please.
Councilperson DeCaro, any items for separation?
No, thank you.
Councilperson DePalma?
C11.
C11. Councilperson Desai, any items for separation? Councilperson Garcia?
None, thank you.
Councilperson Dr. Greenberg Belli?
No, thank you.
Councilperson Murphy?
No, thank you.
Councilperson Paskiddy?
Yes, C1, please.
C1. Council Vice President Walker?
No, thank you.
And Council President Sohar.
No, thank you. Okay, so it'll be
We're going to do the
we're gonna
balance
balance,
first.
right?
We'll take a roll call on the balance of the agenda with the removal of items C1 and C11. Councilperson DeCaro.
Yes.
Councilperson DePalma.
Yes.
Councilperson Desai. Councilperson Garcia.
Yes.
Councilperson Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
Councilperson Murphy.
Yes.
Councilperson Pasquini.
Yes.
Council Vice President Walker.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
9 yeses.
Okay, next will be C1, Mr. Pasquini.
Yes, I separated this because I need to abstain from voting.
Okay. So do I have a motion for C1?
Second.
Okay, moved by Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mrs. Walker.
Roll call. Councilperson DeCaro.
Yes.
Councilperson DePalma.
Yes.
Councilperson Desai. Councilperson Garcia.
Yes.
Councilperson Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
Councilperson Murphy.
Yes.
Councilperson Pasquini is abstaining. Council Vice President Walker.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
8 yeses, 1 abstention.
C11, Mr. DePalma.
Yes, just separating that just so folks can see, the hard work that not only the mayor, the administration, Nicole, and everybody else are doing to get grants in the town. So $1.2 million going towards Cottrell Park. Phenomenal work. That's a heck of a lot of money. And I know it's going to good use. So for those who have seen the park, there's a lot of pictures online. It looks great, and I know this money's going to go to good use. I just wanted to make sure that we highlighted that. I mean, typically I'm separating stuff so we could highlight certain things. I think this is a phenomenal.
It is, thank you so much.
If no one has anything else, I'll move it.
Okay,
Move it.
well,
Second by Dr. Greenberg Belli.
yeah.
Okay, motion by Mr. DePalma, second by Dr. Greenberg Belli. Roll call. Councilperson DeCaro.
Yes.
Councilperson DePalma.
Yes.
Councilperson Desai. Councilperson Garcia.
Yes.
Councilperson Dr. Greenberg Belli. Yes. Councilperson Murphy.
Yes.
Councilperson Pasquini.
Yes.
Council Vice President Walker.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
9 yeses.
Next will be a report of the township clerk.
I just wanted to mention that before the next meeting is the general election. I know that we still are looking for a few poll clerks, so anybody who is interested in working should contact the clerk's office, and we will forward the information along to the people who are assigning poll clerks.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't think we need a motion to approve that. Okay. All right, and then next will be the township attorney.
Nothing to report, Madam President, thank you.
Okay, and administrative report. Mrs. Shapiro.
Thank you, Council President. This is administrative report dated October 10th, 2023, and we have 10 items for the public tonight and council. Item number 1, 2022 Annual Road Resurfacing Program. On September 26, 2023, bids were received, open, and read in public for the 2023 Annual Road Resurfacing Contract number 2023-41 from 12 contractors. P&A Construction, Inc. was the lowest bidder at $1,569,730.62. Work includes milling and resurfacing, pavement striping and markings, replacement of inlet grates and headpieces, and construction of ADA-compliant curb ramps on 26 township roadways. The award of this contract is included on tonight's consent agenda. Construction is scheduled to begin fall of 2023 and continue into spring 2024. Now, item number 2, Municipal Complex Courtyard Reconstruction. Precise construction is substantially complete with the reconstruction of the central area of the municipal courtyard. Normal access to the administration, police, civic center, and silver lining buildings have been restored. Residents are reminded to use caution when traveling through the municipal courtyard as minor construction work remains to be completed. Please call the Old Bridge Township Engineering Department at 732-721-5600, extension 2302, should you have any questions. For continual updates on the township projects in construction phase, please visit www.oldbridge.com/project. Item number 3, Old Bridge Golf Club at Rose Lamberton. Old Bridge Township held the soft public grand opening of the Old Bridge Golf Club at Rose Lamberton on Thursday, September 28, 2023. The soft grand opening featured access to the following course amenities: a driving range, practice putting green, and miniature golf course. The golf course will have limited tee times and access to the pro shop beginning in mid-October 2023. For rates, hours of operation, to reserve your tee time, and for up-to-date information, visit www.obnjgolf.com. Full golf course tee times will begin April 1st, 2024. Item number 4, property tax reimbursement, senior freeze forms. The deadline to follow the 2022 PTR form with the state of New Jersey is October 31, 2023. Applications must be postmarked by October 31st, 2023. For additional information, residents should contact the State of New Jersey Division of Taxation at 1-800-822-6597 or the Division of Tax Collection at extension 299. Item number 5, 2022 tax sale. The municipal tax sale was held on September 27, 2023, with the following results. 24 third-party liens were sold, 22 liens were sold with a premium, and 2 liens were sold at an interest percent. A total of $648,400 was collected for premium, and $192,346.38 was collected for taxes. Interest and penalties. OBMUA did not participate in this year's tax sale due to COVID restrictions that were in place by the state of New Jersey on utilities that did not allow them to charge interest or pursue collection through the tax sale process. Item number 4, fourth quarter tax payments. The Township Division of Tax Collection will open Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. during the fourth quarter tax collection period. The tax office will also be opened between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. on Saturday, November 4th, and between the hours of 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Monday, November 13th. Please note that the Township offices will be closed on Friday, November 10th, 2023, in observance of Veterans Day. Payments can be made in person at the tax office, at the drop box located near the front doors of the Thomas J. English Administration Building, by mail, online through our website, and by signing up for automatic withdrawals. For our homeowners who are in the automatic withdrawal program, your taxes will be withdrawn on or about November 7th, 2023. For additional information, residents should contact the Division of Tax Collection at extension 2999. Item number 7, Old Bridge Paper Shred. There will be a paper shredding event this Friday, October 13th, 2023, open to all Old Bridge residents. The truck will be in Cheesequake Village from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., then at the Township Municipal Complex from 12 noon to 3 p.m. Please visit oldbridge.com/recycling for more details. Item number 8, Curbside TV Pickup, Fall 2023. The Department of Public Works will pick up TVs on Tuesday, November 14th in wards 1, 2, and 3, and Thursday, November 16th in wards 4, 5, and 6 by appointment only. The special curbside pickup is for TVs only and will be conducted rain or shine. Please email recycling@oldbridge.com to make an appointment or for more information. Item number 9, Coat Drive. The Department of Public Works and the Old Bridge Food Bank will be hosting its 3rd annual Coat Drive this November. The Share the Warmth Coat Drive will be held on Saturday, November 4th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Recycling Center. Join us in helping our residents in need stay warm this winter by donating new or gently used coats, hats, scarves, and gloves. This will be a drive-through drop-off, so all you need to do is drive up and we will take care of the rest. We thank you in advance for your support. Item number 10, Police Department. The Police Department would like to welcome and congratulate the department's 2 new police officers, Hunter Simeon and Thomas Petrulietz. They were sworn in on September 29th. Did I do okay? Okay, thank you. And that concludes the administrative report. Thank you, Council President.
Shapiro. Does anyone on my left have a comment for Mrs. Shapiro, a question? Okay, anyone on my right?
This is just a
Move it.
typer that the golf course was not on Thursday, it was Wednesday, the 27th.
The public opening was Thursday.
Okay.
And then we did have a private event for in staff, yes,
Okay.
on Tuesday.
Move it.
Okay, Yeah, John moved it. Okay, seconded. And please make sure with the coat drive that you do really take it and see if you can, contribute. Because it's all ages, not only children, naturally, adults as well. And that would be great. Last year, they did a phenomenal job collecting the coats. So hopefully they will again.
Acceptance, roll call on the acceptance of the professionals' report. Councilperson DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilperson De Palma?
Yes.
Councilperson Desai?
Yes.
Councilperson Garcia?
Yes.
Councilperson Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Councilperson Murphy? Councilperson Pasquitti?
Yes.
Council Vice President Walker?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
9 yeses.
Okay, thank you. Next will be public comment on any subject matter for a maximum period of 3 minutes.
The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. This section is open for any topic or items on the consent agenda in accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the Old Bridge Rules of Council. Council asks the public to limit their comments to 3 minutes or less. Only one member of the public shall approach to speak to council at a time. The council will respect the public's time by refraining from any comment until the speaker is finished with their allotted time. It should be further noted that the public comment portion of our meeting is not structured as a question and answer session. If a member of the public has questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made with the corresponding department's office during regular business hours. The township clerk will regulate the time during the comment portion of our meeting.
Okay, all right. Is there anyone in the public who wishes to be heard? Please come forward. Good evening.
Good evening. I am an Old Bridge resident. From time to time, I come before this council to speak about unclaimed property, also known as unclaimed funds. If a financial institution has had no activity on an account for 3 years, the funds are turned over to the state of New Jersey under unclaimed property. These are just added to funds that are already there. This includes bank accounts, stock dividends, mutual funds, life insurance proceeds, security deposits, etc. People may have forgotten or not known about an account. They may have moved or died. These accounts pertain to individuals, businesses, estates, etc. In the August 24th edition of the Home News Tribune, there were 60 pages of the latest names in Middlesex County added to the state's unclaimed property list. In it are hundreds of names of Old Bridge individuals, estates, businesses, etc. I urge you to go to the State of New Jersey Department of the Treasury Unclaimed Property Division and type in your name or the name of a relative to see if it shows up. If it does, the site tells you how to collect these funds. On a separate issue, one other thing, I want to thank the mayor and the council for lowering the municipal amount on my property tax bill. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to be heard? I think I'll go first.
Please just state whether you're a resident or not, no address.
Oh, name?
No.
No name? Oh, resident. I just wanted to thank the two council members that spoke about September 12th, and I was very happy to hear that they were from opposite sides of the political spectrum. Sometimes it can be hard in town to hear or witness words that maybe make you feel like you don't belong in town, especially now. I have an 18-year-old, and thinking that somebody doesn't want me in town is definitely hurtful. So I do appreciate those words. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else this evening? Okay, good evening.
Hi, I'm a resident of Old Bridge. I'm a concerned taxpayer, and my question is for Mr. Caro. Mr. Caro, I have a question for you. Do
You need to direct your comments
To me.
to the
Oh,
council
I'm
president.
sorry.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
to the
Okay.
council
All right.
president.
Well, I just wanted to know if people think it's all right that Democrats are taking benefits, especially specifically Ed Testino and Treasurer Nick Smolny are taking lifetime health benefits from the Old Bridge MUA when they never worked there, courtesy of the Old Bridge taxpayers. I pay a lot of taxes, and I'd like to have a consideration from people who are taking that on us. They were both employed by the county. Why don't they have their benefits from the county where they worked from? not that it's my business, but Mr. Testino's wife is still employed in the county. So how come he doesn't take his benefits? And why are there more benefits being given and taken at the taxpayer expense?
Thank you. The public who wishes to be heard this evening?
Yes, hi, I'm a resident of Old Bridge. I want to thank Mayor Owens and his council for keeping Old Bridge affordable for its elderly and letting them stay in their homes. I also want to thank you for the new residents who have moved here for a quality of life they couldn't afford elsewhere. The mayor and the council have made clear, concise, logical decisions for Old Bridge. Some may not have made some residents happy, but you need to do research on the perks that they got from the warehouse developer. Certain council members, confident, have a good grasp on Old Bridge and know how great it can be again. Our present federal governing body has made this nation a laughingstock. So when you're elected here as mayor of Old Bridge, you need to have a clear train of thought, make logical decisions, and not have to circle back on your decisions or your thoughts. Because when you're elected here, you will be verbally attacked. You will be attending multiple meetings physically that you have to attend, and hard decisions that have to be made you can't circle back on. Because once that decision's made, it affects all of Old Bridge. So let's not make Old Bridge a laughingstock like our nation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience? Good evening.
Good evening. I'm a resident of Old Bridge, and I wish to thank the mayor and his administration for keeping everything running like clockwork, with his hard work, from the budget, the grants, the taxes, the public notices, and so on. Most of all, keeping all of our residents safe. A special thank you to our outstanding council. Your time, your leadership, and your endless generosity of knowledge will not be forgotten. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard this evening? Okay, seeing no hands, then I will close the public portion. We'll go to council comments.
Councilperson DeCaro.
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry, I can't answer your question. It's not for me to answer. I have no idea. That's my answer. I have no idea. I didn't know anything about it. I don't know. So I guess your question would be to Mr. Testino. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know. So anyway, I just want to, fall sports are in full swing, and I hope everyone is enjoying this beautiful weather. We did go, I know the golf course opening was mentioned. We did have the privilege of attending the soft opening. It was my first time on a golf course, and it was very beautiful. And I got to hit a ball on the driving range, my first time, so that was a little exciting. So hopefully people will enjoy that. Now, I want to have my deepest condolences to the family of Officer Benedict and his brothers and sisters in the Old Bridge Police Department. There just really aren't any good words to say about that. I mean, it was just a tragedy, and just know that my thoughts are with you. And to my Israeli and Jewish friends in Old Bridge, and my heart goes out to you with what you're dealing with what's happening in Gaza. Just the mass destruction, the mass loss of life is just truly disgusting. And I have no words. I just know that, again, my heart is with all of the my friends here in Old Bridge and the people in Israel that are going through what they're going through. It's just terrible. I saw a quote one day, and I think it was yesterday I saw it, and it really resonated with me, you know. And it said, "One day I want to wake up to find that there's peace in the land." And I don't know if that's going to happen in our lifetimes, but maybe one day it will. Maybe we will stop don't sweat the small stuff, in other words, and look at the big picture. You know, we're not here on this world, we're not here on this earth for that long, and we should really make the best of it. So anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Councilperson De Palma.
Yeah, I think all of the council folks will probably send their condolences to not only Officer Benedict's family, but also to the extension of his family, the rest of the Old Bridge Police. Showing up to the wake, I specifically went early just to not be a distraction, but to see the outpouring of support, not only from the Old Bridge Police Department, but the surrounding areas, the number of police officers, and then on Saturday with the procession that happened through town, the sheer number of officers that were here is heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time. Unfortunately, for our officers to have to bury their friend at such a young age, it's tough, and I think all of us, I know on behalf of myself and my family, we extend our deepest condolences. For the tragedy that's going on in Israel, I think there's a lot of folks have their own opinions. What's happening there is a tragedy, unprovoked attacks or unprovoked attacks. No matter what happens, no matter what people think, there are women, children, elderly being kidnapped and held against their will. It's an abomination of what's happening over there. It should never happen. I think Mr. Carroll said it. We probably will never see peace, at least in that area, in our lifetime. We could all hope and pray. But to see that and watch the news, and it's tough. I think there's just so much going on in this world right now. A lot of hatred. I think this all needs to end. I think as we move forward as adults, as world citizens, we need to all take a look in the mirror and make sure that as we're looking to treat others the right way as we would like to be treated. I think that golden rule, so I tell my children all the time, I think if we all did that, we'd be in a better spot. I guess on a little bit of a lighter note, the golf course opening was phenomenal. Finally able to go to a driving range within a decent drive from our house, especially the residents here. I think it's great. I've driven past there a few times as I'm going to pick up my daughter from school, and it's just straight packed, and that's great to see. So many people utilizing it, and that's just the driving range and the mini golf. My children are looking forward to mini golf. Can't wait to get them there every time we seem to want to go, and the weather doesn't want to cooperate. Maybe, Owen, we could put in a request to kind of turn off the sprinklers on the weekend. Maybe the developer could help us. But I know everyone is psyched for it. Golf is actually beginning this weekend. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get on in time to get a tee time. They sold out pretty quick because of the limited numbers. But that's awesome. The fact that so many folks are hankering to use that course, it's great. Being at work, I had someone come up to me who lives up in Bergen County and said, "Aren't you an Old Bridge councilman, Eric?" I was like, "Absolutely." They're like, "Get me on your golf course." I said, "I wish I had that pull, but I don't." So the word's traveling around the state of what type of course was built in this town, and I think it's just going to be a beacon for this year and the time to come. Two other things. So Pink Out for Old Bridge football is probably I would say, Mayor, the busiest day of the year for football is coming up in the next week. So hopefully we get to see everybody out there. And the next time we'll see everybody will be November. So for all the kids, happy Halloween. Be careful out there. It's a weekday. I believe it's a Tuesday. So actually it's probably a better thing. We're not going to have tons of kids out, roaming around all day. But for all those who do go out and trick or treat, be careful, especially since it's going to be after school and it's going to be darker. Thank you.
Councilperson Desai.
This coming Saturday, India Culture Association of Central Jersey, Asian Indian Community of Old Bridge and surrounding area is going to celebrate religious dance festival. It's called the Navratri. Literally, that means in English, 9-night festival. But here we do it only 2-3 days over the weekend. So the first day, it will be this coming Saturday on the 14th at Carl Sandburg Middle School. Program start around 8:30. The first 1 hour will be for the young children under 12, their parents or their grandparents. I invite all council people as well as the mayor to be there on the first day so they can address the gathering and they can enjoy. Most of them has been coming to this event because we are doing this event from 41 years. It's a colorful costumes, based dresses. You will really enjoy this. So anybody who is watching this TV, OBTV at home, also are welcome. There will be no charge on first day. Second day, we may have to say no because generally, second Saturday, 21st, is a busy Saturday. We have lots of people that day. So the first day, 14th, will be appropriate for all of you to come and enjoy. Program start, as I said, time is official 8 o'clock. Actually, event start 8:30 and goes sometime in the wee hour in the morning until 1:30. But school has given us midnight. But they always give, custodian will always help us and give us half an hour. So please, everybody, join us on 14th of October, Saturday at Carl Sandburg Middle School. No charge, and you will enjoy the performance and energy of the people dancing. You will see the people from 5 years old to 85 years old people. So it's a wonderful event. Thank you. One other thing I want to say as a council person, and I don't know to whom to ask, but I live in my area on Route 9, there is an exit for Old Mill Road. It used to be a jug handle left. Now what they did, because I use that road all the time, but now I forced to go from the 34. As you exit Old Mill Road, it says you cannot make left. So you cannot come out on 9 or cross 9 and you can go right, but right there is road is closed. There is nothing else there. It's a woods. So this particular decision was whoever made it, that is very annoying to the people living in Madison apartment and a development called Spring Hill Village and Old Mill Road people. So people, particularly in the morning, it's fine, daytime, but night time it's very bad. So I would request administration to look into it, and so I can, when people come and ask me as a council person, I have no answer. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the fall weather. But as I can see, this year 23, we had a lots of hot weather and lots of rain. So I hope winter will be mild, not in the same severity. So enjoy the rest of the fall before winter start. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Councilperson Garcia.
And one other thing, if anybody has a question, you can see me after, or my number is 908-410-3751 if you need more information. Or you can visit organization website icaofcj.org. The information is there on this program. Thank you.
Councilperson Garcia.
Let's give it a second just to make sure he's done. Are you done down there?
I will be there.
I'm only
Mayor
kidding.
knows, everybody knows I will be there.
I'm only kidding, thank you. Regarding the police officer Benedict, my condolences to his family. I know he was a young man. Having two young boys, I couldn't imagine. It's horrible. And Chief, you and the police family, as you know, I was a police officer, it's tough. So my condolences to you and the family, him and his family, 'cause it's not easy. You know, it's just not easy. You become a police officer not thinking you're gonna pass away, but if you do pass away, it's usually from getting shot. It's not, you know, it's horrible. So again, my condolences to the family. I feel bad. Also, Israel, our prayers are with Israel, of course. The nonsense they're dealing with over there, and family, if they have family over here in Old Bridge, New Jersey, the States, doesn't matter. There's no need for this nonsense. So keep your prayers with Israel, of course. I went to the golf outing as well. I feel like I'm yelling all the time. I went to the golf outing as well. I was happy to hit the ball. I've never played golf before besides miniature golf. I hit it maybe 20 feet. I missed the first two times, but I was happy to hit the ball. And I think it's going to be a great thing for us in Old Bridge. I plan on golfing. When I retired 9 years ago, I told my brother I would golf. It's only taken me 9 years, so I'm going to start next year. So it's maybe 10 years. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a great thing for Old Bridge. Couple more things. Marion Sweet, and maybe you guys don't know her. She's a regular at our meetings. She lives in Cheese Creek Village. She had a small heart attack yesterday. She's doing fine, but you never know with these things. So just keep her in your prayers as well. And one more thing. Facebook. I don't go on Facebook usually. It's just not worth the aggravation. It really isn't. So when people try to get a hold of me on Facebook and I don't respond, 'cause I'm just not aware of it. So I ask everybody, if you need to get a hold of me, it's really simple. It's just kgarcia@oldbridge.com. There's nothing personal. I just don't go on Facebook. It's just not worth the aggravation. So kgarcia@oldbridge.com. Thank you.
Councilperson Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Okay. First of all, to know that Vincent Lavallo saved a life. Life is precious. I've known Vincent since he was a little boy. He was, as a little boy and as today, he's very kind, he's respectful, and a hard worker. And I know the impact that saving that life had on him, but I hope that child grows up and knows with the expertise and the ability that he had to go in there and save that life. And then with Mike Pitchauer, just as the mayor alluded to, I have a lot of energy myself. I don't need much sleep. I do a lot of things, but I've never met anyone like Mike Pitchauer. He exhausts me just looking at him, and he is a kind person and ties a lot of things together. So we have a lot of things to be happy in this town. At the same time, a lot of sadness. With the passing of Officer Benedict, it was very hard for everybody. It was a shock and much sadness, but you all have to keep him in your prayers and hope for a better day, and that we all should remember that the sun will come up tomorrow. With that said, I do want to talk about the dedication of the opening of the golf course that took place on the 27th. I remember with the Rose family and Lambertson family coming to Barbara Cannon, and the kindness in their heart and the desire to preserve that land for open space. It's quite incredible to do that. So that day, it was a beautiful day in so many ways. The sky, we had so much rain before that and after that. The skies cleared and the sun shined brightly. We were thrilled to have in attendance the honored guests, William and Jean Rose, Donna and Eugene Godowski, and Jeff Robbins. They had the vision and the compassion to assure that that property would remain open space. And so that is quite a testament to their years of living in Old Bridge, working that farm, and having that vision. The dedication encapsulated the history of the property, and the spirit there was joyous and grateful. It was absolutely amazing, the visual. It's so eye-pleasing, and it lifted my spirits to see that. Mr. Gersberg expressed gratitude and showered respect for the Rose family and the history of the farm, ensuring he had the vision of maintaining a beautiful landmark that will remain for generations for all to enjoy. It's truly amazing, whether you golf or not, just to see it. It's incredible. With that said, then we have Old Bridge, and that brings all the goodness in Old Bridge that comes together. So that day, to tell you the truth, that morning, I was not very happy. I wasn't happy that it changed from the one week into the next, because on Old Bridge Day, I had a wedding to attend, but I went and I set it up the tent. It was raining at that time. I was calling people, are we having it? We did. They assured me the sun would come out, and it did. So I was glad I was there, and I was most happily when we were on stage, making the celebration for the opening of another Old Bridge Day, and to hear the Old Bridge Band. We have a lot to be proud of. I look down at them. They are talented, talented individuals. Also, to hear the voice of Megan Valenzola, to hear sing the national anthem. It was a great day. So on top of that, I want to say, as far as the police force, and this commitment from this administration for the years, through the years, a lot of people don't realize this, but I want to say this because a lot has changed in the 12 years that Mayor Henry's been here in this council. So I will start out with the police force. It started out with a $6 million radio system has gone into the police force. This is the dedication and the commitment that we have to the police force. $6 million. Facility improvements, which were much needed within the police department. $670,000 were dedicated to that. Equipment that the police needed to do their job to keep us safe in Old Bridge, $1,443,000. Then also, as far as vehicles, now a lot of vehicles and a lot of equipment, sometimes we even get grant money on top of this, but $435,500 was dedicated to vehicles. And I know the same thing in our road department. We dedicate a lot to road department. When we took over, they had trucks with holes in the floor and couldn't do it. The police needed the equipment that they needed to do the job that they do to protect them. So also, I am just so proud of where we are in the history of the police department with the most policemen in the history of Old Bridge that is on part of the police department now. So with that said, I want to thank everyone in the police department for what they do. And please, everyone keep their heart and their prayers for the Benedict family and pray for Israel. My heart is shattered, what is going on in this world, knowing that after the Holocaust, we said, never again. But it is happening. They are slaughtering people strictly because they are Jewish. And it is disgusting and just sickening. Thank you.
Councilperson Murphy.
Yes, thank you. First of all, I agree with Anita. It's a shame. It's disgusting what's going on in Israel. But what I want to talk about is I want to first apologize for the last 8 or 9 months I missed. I was actually going through a liver disease and waiting for a transplant. About 5 weeks ago, they gave me that transplant, which has changed my life quite a bit. I don't get upset at people anymore. I just, my whole life's been changed. And I want to thank everybody, especially in Ward 6, that called me. I had about 15 calls from Ward 6, although 7 or 8 were they needed their lights fixed, they needed this, they needed that, which I took care of from the hospital. But I do want to thank some people individually. I have to thank Eric right here. He's been with me the whole time. He used to say, I hope I don't see you next month. And I thought he didn't like me. I said, what's the problem? He goes, you got to get the liver transplant. I was hoping you'd go get it. So that's why I still with that. And I just want to thank everybody that prayed for me. I'm very, I believe in faith, and I really think that's why I made it. And one other person, my fiance, Diane, she stayed with me the whole time in the operating room, everywhere. well, not in the operating, waiting outside. And I just want to, thank her too. And if I missed anything, my memory is not back yet. So I just want to thank everybody for praying for me and everything.
Councilperson Pasquitti.
Thank you. Yeah, it goes without saying, what's going on in Israel is brutal. Please pray for Israel. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. A warm thank you to all the veterans in Old Bridge. That's coming up. I guess we'll have a council meeting after the next Veterans Day. And, every year you may hear the words, this is the most important election. Well, in my opinion, it has never been so true as now. Most of you know I have been a lifelong resident of Old Bridge, and I have never been so proud of our town. There's a small group of naysayers who try to find an appearance of bad, but the fact is that this town, Old Bridge, there is so much good going on. Many years ago, our neighbor, Saraville, was one of the lowest property tax towns in New Jersey. This is because their industrial base was very strong. Today, Old Bridge is on its way to being the lowest municipal tax towns in the state per capita. Our financial position is stronger now than ever, and we are becoming the leaders in our state. This is a direct result of hard work on the part of the council and the administration, department heads. Are we perfect? No, not yet. But we are daily making improvements towards that goal. We now have a municipal golf course that was built without public tax money. The town maintains ownership of the property and collects a yearly fee for its operation. There is no cost to taxpayers to operate it, and it provides open space and a nice facility for all to enjoy. I was at the grand opening, and it is truly a world-class golf course with a driving range and a miniature golf. I believe this will be among one of Old Bridge's gems. The warehouses being built off Route 9 was a windfall for the Old Bridge residents. What was once zoned residential, which could have been 10,000 homes and possibly 20,000 cars, is now an industrial facility that provides millions of dollars to the Old Bridge bottom line and hundreds of local jobs. What I am saying is that we as a town are winning, and we want to keep the current winning team running things. Please take a moment to think about how well our town has been running these last 12 years, from the snow removal to the roads, parks, award-winning senior center, and our quality of life. Let's continue to make Old Bridge the best it can be. I wholeheartedly support Debbie Walker for mayor, Anita, Mary, and Eric for council. Thank you.
Point of order, is that should not, we should not be campaigning on the dais.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, we should not
That's
be.
your opinion, you're entitled to it.
Completely inappropriate.
Again, it's council comments.
Council Vice President Walker.
Yes, my condolences also go out to Officer Benedict and the Old Bridge Police Department because you lost one of your brothers. And I know it's very tragic. He's such a young man. It was very sad. Also, my prayers go out to the Israel. I cannot watch TV to see what's going on. It's too sad. Also, I want to remind everybody that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm sure we all know someone that has suffered from breast cancer, and please keep them in your prayers also. I want to just say how proud I am of Vinnie Lavallo and Mike Petschauer. They happen to be members of Chesapeake Volunteer Fire Company, which my husband's been on there for 35 years, so I feel like they're my family. It's such a great group of men and women. They're there all times, a day, night, holidays, always there to protect us. I'm just so proud of them and what they do for our community. I was also at the golf opening, and it's absolutely beautiful. Anyone that knows me knows I love pickleball and I love to golf. And today I actually got to go to the driving range. It was very crowded. It's absolutely beautiful. And they told me when the tee times come up online, within 4 minutes they're gone and they're totally booked. But Old Bridge residents moving forward, when we start moving along, are going to get a window sooner than outside Old Bridge residents to get on the golf course. But if you don't golf, you can go there and play mini golf, that's actually beautiful too, if you look at that. And the driving range is absolutely great. Right now it's open till 8 o'clock at night. But once the electric is up and running, it's gonna be open till 10 o'clock at night. And that's all I have to say.
Council President Sohar.
Yeah, I'll just close the council comments by once again, and I know I say this many times, that we're so Old Bridge proud. Mike and Vinny are a perfect example of what this town is all about. And, they pull together and they work very hard. And it's amazing what those volunteers do. It's incredible. We've had a lot of sad this week, both nationally and here in Old Bridge, with the passing of Officer Benedict. And again, our prayers go to that family and to Israel and anyone else that is suffering right now, that hopefully things will come to a better conclusion. I also attended, as everyone else, all the events, and I really do think we have a great town, and I do think a lot of these projects have come to fruition, and people are now starting to see the fruits of all this, planning and so on. So I really think I'm looking forward to Cottrell Farm and the completion of that, and all the other projects that we're working on that really make this town so special for our families. So everyone have a great, hopefully a nice Halloween, be safe, and thank you very much for coming this evening. Oh, yeah, one
I
other
just
thing,
forgot to
yes.
make an announcement. Cheesequake, well, this month is Fire Prevention Month, October. Cheesequake Firehouse is having their open house this Saturday from 12 to 4 at their firehouse on Route 34, because they have 3 locations, but it's going to be at the firehouse on Route 34 from 12 to 4 this Saturday.
Yeah.
If it doesn't rain, if it rains, it will be canceled.
We'll try to stop by if you can. Okay? How we're doing executive session, so.
We do. We have a resolution to go into executive session for purpose of discussing the NL Industries litigation, and council will not reconvene this evening. So if you need a motion for the resolution?
Okay. John? Okay. By Dr. Greenberg Belly, second by Mr. Murphy.
Roll call, Councilperson DeCaro?
Yes.
Have a good
Councilperson
evening.
DePalma? Yes. Councilperson Desai? Councilperson Garcia? Yes. Councilperson Dr. Greenberg Belli? Yes. Councilperson Murphy? Yes. Councilperson Pasquini?
Yes.
Council Vice President Walker? Yes. Council President Sohar?
Yes.
9 yeses.